is it like that every freaking time? Flip here, flip back. Cool. Hello, welcome back to Icewind Dale with the Seekers of Omens. Wait, what was the full name?
Figures of the season's Omen.
Seekers of the Season's Omen, aka the Omen Seekers. Caldorix had been called away to do some Harper business, and it left these three behind. Let's get into the recap here. Let me turn that off. Recap music. In the wake of the dragon attack, the Omen Seekers make their way to Caer Konig to lend a hand, and find the town is still struggling at ground level. Buildings toppling over and trapping townfolk and sled animals, invisible Durgar attacking straggling families, and even a wave of Durgar on giant lizards joining the fray. But in the midst of all this, Caldorix is attacked by what he thought was a normal villager, but when he turns, he finds himself looking in a mirror. His attacker is him. The others notice the scuffle and join in, quickly knocking Doppeldorix unconscious. After Caer Konig was safe from further incursion, the group focused on getting info out of this shapeshifter, and Dr. Lazarus knew just the thing and headed off looking for a chair. Caldorix is put in a stressful situation. What he wants is to cut off the legs of this asshole and make sure he can't get away, but the others, for whatever reason, don't want to do that. For this reason alone, he starts to consider maybe he might need a break from these people. When Doppeldorix awoke, he was tied to the chair the doctor had found, and the group began to interrogate him. The faux Dorix wasn't forthcoming until manual drowning was induced. At that point, he was still more eager to die than to give up too much on his master, but what was learned was the following. He's part of a group who live among us, and claim to have infiltrated every aspect of Ten Town society. His leader is a demi-lich named Eriolarthus. He warns that you stay away from his master, lest you regret it. Additionally, he had called Caldorix a chosen one, but didn't go into detail before they put him out of his misery. Bree puts together that Eriolarthus must be the floating skull she's seen in her dreams. The group helped Trovis clean up a bit before convincing Dredovix and Vorin to drop Trovis and the survivors off at Bryn Shander before landing at the Ramshackle in Lonelywood to do the final repair work needed before heading back to the Far Realm. Although, during the layover in Bryn Shander, Bree took off towards the Northlook. Having noticed something the last time she was there, she had to double check. Confronting the bartender, she reminds him that she was the one who had helped quiet the fish above the fireplace, and that she'd like to take it off his hands. Of course, she'll bring him another fish to replace it. It takes some conversation, and Bree doesn't leave with the fish, but does end up extracting what she came for from out of the fish's mouth, before bolting back to the nautiloid. Dr. Lazarus has plans to see if the Ceramorphs would possibly be able to help him construct a larger version of the Summer Star, and this intrigues them. But as the doctor pulls out the device, Bree flashes back to another image from her dreams, a huge gyroscopic device glowing with power sitting at the center of the ancient Netherese city. During the trip, Dr. Lazarus also takes the time to identify the ring Bree had located, and they realize it's not just her mother's wedding ring, but it also has magical properties. Upon sliding the ring onto her finger, Bree is met with a gentle female voice. "Hi, honey." Bree is in shock and responds, "Mom?" After a short back and forth, Bree needs a moment to reflect and calm her emotions, and so she removes the ring and takes some time to herself, stepping outside to think. Before Bree steps away, Flight had heard her utter "Mom" and realizes what's happening to an extent. With his parents' situation up in the air, and having been intertwined into Bree's family affairs, he feels the urge to speak to her as well, but Bree is too in shock to respond, and heads out into the streets of Lonelywood. Upon arriving back at the Ramshackle, the group finds two things notable. Orion Lazarus is all stirred up. A group of men had attacked him and Perilou in an attempt to track down the Cauldron of Plenty, and Perilou died in the aftermath. The other notable thing is that Valen Harple is here with her kobold posse for some reason. Dr. Lazarus tries his best to calm his son and talk some sense into him. Healing is his strong suit. Do not go out there looking for revenge. Dr. Lazarus insists that Orion stay put at the ramshackle, like he has been saying the whole time. But that's when Valen chimes in. Apparently, she had made a deal with Orion that she would help him track down Perilou's murderers, but in return, he'd help her and help lead her to an ancient elven tomb, which, if the history books are correct, contains a magical mirror with the ability to scry. An ability she's very much in need of to finally track down the Professor Orb she had been on about since you first met her. The Seekers were headed towards the Elven Tomb anyway, and with Orion Lazarus now grounded, they offered to escort Valen there in Orion's absence. Valen had encountered quite a bit since she crossed paths with the Omen Seekers, and through a confusing, cluttered explanation, it was learned that she had crossed paths with Lazarus's other son, Halligan, and had witnessed some sort of strange interaction between the Horde leaders and a robed man with a magic snowflake floating above his head. And now we catch up to Bree, wandering the snowy streets of Lonelywood, her mother's ring in hand, contemplating what she'll do next. I'll put that away. And Bree, you wanted to have a private conversation with your mother. So if you want to go to a private chat, we can do that right now.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Thank you.
Alrighty. Guys, stay put. We'll be right back.
I will hang
Right.
tight.
Wait,
Hello?
how do I... Hang on. This didn't pop out the way I needed to pop out. Got captured there. Boom. All right. Okay, so yeah, you're standing a little bit behind the ramshackle, at least on the map. It could be however far away. But you're holding this ring in your hand, contemplating what to do next. What do next?
Well, I'm going to slide it back onto my hand.
Okay.
Mom?
Yes, honey. I know this is a surprise. This is probably a lot to take in right now. I'm sorry, but I'm so happy to meet you.
I'm happy to meet you too, but I just don't know why you and Dad didn't tell me why I wasn't. I could have had a mom growing up.
I know this is tough, honey. We talked about this, and we just... There was a time where we figured that if I were in your life, it would complicate things. You would feel different than the other children. I don't know if our decision was right. It's just what...
I already felt different from the other children because I didn't have two parents.
That's true. Well, I take the blame. Part of it was... my presence was holding things back, I felt. Like, Bryn was never going to move on if I was still there, but I couldn't... just the thought of hearing about what you were doing every day and thinking that maybe eventually I could meet you and we could talk just kept me around. I don't know, it was...
He did move on, kind of, after we lost you.
What?
He is kind of seeing someone. It's complicated.
Oh, that's actually so wonderful. I had worried about him. I had worried that he would latch on to me and not be able to find love again. And while I was there, that it seemed to be the case. I I had to push him to to go and see other people, but that didn't work. Not when he had me to come and talk to after every date.
Yeah, I always wondered why. Uh, and I figured it was because of me, but I guess it probably was because of you. Um, yeah, it's complicated though. The person that she how far do your senses extend outside the ring? Like, do you hear the people that I talk to?
No, unfortunately, it's been quite a lonesome life recently. I can only speak to whoever wears the ring.
So I'm traveling with the son of the person that he's seeing, um, but they're also trying to free her husband from being wrongfully incarcerated, but she ended up falling in love with dad. I don't know. It's very complicated, and they were lying to him about it at first, but I made them tell him. So now I think her son's probably pretty angry at me for making them
Oh,
tell him, even though we both know that he would have helped anyways if they had come to him about it honestly.
well, that is true, honey. Yes, that's frustrating. I can see that he would probably want. Oh, okay. I'm just. This is a lot to take in. It's,
It's a lot. I can give
oh, it's
you
good to
some
hear
time
that
to
Bryn
think if
is.
you want. Eventually
What did you say?
I eventually I'd like to learn more about you though.
Oh, that's what I've dreamed of. I look, it's weird that I even knew it was you cuz tell me, why do you have a different body? This is kind of strange for me.
Oh, you can see my body?
Oh, maybe not.
Like
Sorry,
that's why I
I'm
asked
trying to
how far her
comprehend it.
senses extended.
Got you, seeing or whatever. Yeah, yeah. Well,
So I can
that
be
makes
like,
more sense that she can't see
"Oh,
your
I
body at all.
also
Sorry, you go
died.
ahead.
Um, but I got brought back to life anyways.
You mean, oh, well,
So I'm in a
you mean you
different
got knocked
body.
unconscious?
I'm not a halfling anymore.
Oh, you're not a. How does that work?
I'm actually a furbolg now.
How does one just
Really
decide?
shot up there.
Were you
I
polymorphed?
didn't. No, I didn't. I died. And my master, my teacher, brought me back to life, but I came back in a different body. Dad knows, so
Wow. Well, wow. I'm glad that that's. Oh, there was a chance that I wouldn't have seen you. Oh, well, thank Shantea that you were brought back. It's so
got a
good
character
to.
question. Do I know who Shantea is? Who the heck is Shantea?
Um, yeah, you probably know. Maybe. Just give me a religion check.
Oh, right, I forgot to log into my character sheet in Roll20. 1 second.
No worries.
Um, um, ah, Roll20 making me actually sign in. What
Yeah,
is
so, well,
this?
here, I'm right here. I'll roll it for you real quick.
Well, sorry. No, it's okay. It's up
You're
now.
there now. Okay, cool.
What did you need me to roll? Religion?
Religion, yeah.
17.
You know it. Okay. Yeah, so Shan Shantia is the goddess of life and bounty of her nickname is the Earth Mother.
So that ties in very well with my mold druid thing.
Oh yeah. And you know what? You probably had heard Vurnis mention her before whether or not she went
Okay.
into full detail.
Okay, now that I know that I probably would have known that my mother worshipped Sean or held Shantae in high regard, right?
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Okay. So I think Bree's probably a little bit religious then, now that I know that.
Okay.
So she responds with, yes, it's only by the will of my master and Shantae that I was allowed to come back in a different body. It's doesn't always work.
Well, I won't question it too much. It's great to see you. Whatever led us to this point, I think, Shantia. I don't know if you can feel it, but I'm hugging you around the finger.
I guess I can feel it because there is a ring there.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to know more about you and your life and what you were like because Dad was always too sad. I
Aw,
don't know much
I'm sorry.
other than you also traveled like me.
Yeah, well, there are plenty of stories to get into. Let me mind I think of some.
Yes, of course. It's probably best to give you some time to absorb everything as well anyways, and me too. So,
I'm yeah, I'm kind of full of emotion hearing that Bryn found someone. That's wonderful.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot to process.
honey,
Do you want me to take this rain off or do you want me to leave it on?
it's up to you. You can leave it on if I'll be around.
Okay, I'll leave it on then. Let
I
me know
love
when you
you,
want to
honey.
talk.
I'm I'm sorry I wasn't there growing up, but you've grown to be a I I can only hope. I can I'm speechless. You,
Yeah,
you're
me
amazing.
too. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to. Um, but yes, I'll let you. I need to think about this too.
Okay.
Bye, Mom.
Bye. I'll be around.
Okay. Hmm.
All right.
Okay, back we go.
Yeah, let's go back.
She might be the only one who gets it.
Be back.
Wow.
I'm gonna put myself again so that I can continue eating my dinner.
Sure. So you came back to the building. Well, it doesn't. I'll give them alone time first. Okay, so yeah, Bree had left. Let me switch that off. Boom. Okay, yeah, so you guys are all crowded around inside of the Ramshackle Inn. You've got Orion and Flight and Dr. Lazarus and Dave, Valin, and her kobolds. What are you guys doing? Bree has stepped away.
So when Spree had stepped away, you tell him, Flight.
Yeah. So basically, while you were doing that, Lazarus and Flight were discussing the tension between Bree and Flight. That's going on.
Oh, sure. Are any specifics that were said?
I don't know.
You can leave if you want.
I'll let Lazarus decide what stuck out to him.
What stuck out to us, it's more or less it's the animosity. That's kind of what we were getting at was there needs to be Steven's trying to convince Flight that we got to figure something out.
Mm.
It's him having a heart to heart and trying to understand Flight. And Steven's kind of started digging of letting Flight tell him something. So, can we continue with that real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd love that.
So, like, last thing.
Do you want me to leave?
Actually, you could come in right, like, because we kind of discussed a whole bunch of stuff already at this point. So we could come in. You could come in like right as Flight saying the last thing he said, which is like, he might be the only one who gets it.
Well, Dr. Lazarus, were you wanting to recap some of the stuff that we missed, or? You had some more to say?
Oh no! What Flight was saying is we can continue our conversation. Is Bree walking back into the tavern?
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, it sounded like Flight was like, it'd be good to come in right at the end, and I didn't know if you were trying to go over some of the conversation before she showed up.
No. Still.
Okay. Well,
I'm
cool.
not going to
Yeah,
rehash the whole thing. It was more of just Dr. Lazarus turning around to Flight and going, like, being like, why did you want to talk to her mother? What, this, and like, he was kind of trying to dig.
Okay, yeah, totally. And then Flight, you were saying a final thing before Bree came back into the room.
Yeah, just like the last thing that I said to Lazarus was that and I quote, "She might be the only one who gets it."
Okay.
Well,
all right.
what happened to cause the schism?
You were cutting out. What was that?
What happened to cause the schism between you and your family?
Bree will sit down and listen. Unless you shoo her away, which is what she's expecting.
As you sit down, you see Flight glare at you.
Then Bree will walk away. Bye, guys.
Glare
No,
negatively,
Bree.
or what emotion is in this glare?
I believe I messaged you what that emotion is.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'll have Bree. I'll call for an insight check from Bree.
Well,
Okay.
she didn't necessarily. Well, if you want, you can. She wasn't looking
If
for
she,
that.
if
per
she
se,
wants
but-
to. If she wants
Yeah.
to.
I mean,
she
if
doesn't have to
you're
if she doesn't
asking
want
for me to do it, I can do it.
Okay.
to. Well, if you want to. Do you want
That's
to roll insight?
19 on my insight.
Okay.
You see resentment.
It's resentment.
Resentment. Yes.
Then
At least for
Bree's
now.
leaving because that's a bunch of. She thinks that's a bunch of. She's not willing to deal with that at this point.
Even with Steven
Before
trying
you
to call
leave,
you
I
back
have one
over,
question.
you keep.
If Steven tries to call me back over, she will turn around and she will say, "Glare at me all you want. That's not going to fix anything."
Agreed.
Before you
Now
leave, I
please
just have one
sit with
question.
us.
I'll sit next to Lazarus.
And so you're joining
Okay.
us then.
What did you
We
say?
Do
need
Flight?
you want me
discuss
to or
this.
not?
I don't.
Then,
particularly
if
care.
you are talking about your personal history and you do not want me here, then I will respect your wishes and
What do you
leave.
want? I
Sorry,
don't particularly
Lazarus.
care.
And I'm going to leave. Like, I don't know.
So she goes to the front door. She feels that negativity is getting aimed at her where she doesn't feel it's deserved.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Steven will kind of like throw his hands up.
Now that is exactly what I'm talking about, Light. I've watched this happen. This animosity it needs to be settled.
And Steven's talking loud enough that if you're still in the bar, you can probably hear him. He's trying not to be quiet. He's trying to be heard. But
No, Bree's gonna step outside. She is legitimately saying Flight does not want her here. He is talking about his personal
Light said
stuff
he didn't
right now.
care.
I heard didn't want to.
It must have cut out. Then I specifically said that Flight specifically said that he doesn't care.
Okay, well then let's roll that all back then.
Yeah,
and
I think
I will sit down.
I'd heard what Bree heard. It was like, "Do you want me here?" And I thought I'd heard Flight say no.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But
as
he may
well.
have misunderstood what you said. So,
It must have cut out because I'm pretty sure I had Flight say I don't care.
Oh, okay.
well, if that's the case,
God.
yeah, let's say that was the case, and Bree sticks around for the conversation, and I guess Dr. Lazarus is trying to settle
Sorry
it
about
between you
okay.
both sides. What does Dr. Lazarus say?
while you both are sitting down, Steven's going to kind of look at both of you and go,
I think we're in this for the long haul together. Whatever paths your two families have crossed, we have a choice. You two either hash it out here and now, you two either leave it at the door, or I walk away.
That is completely up to you, Flight. I think I've made it fairly clear a few times that I would love to put this behind us. But you seem to hold a lot of resentment towards me that comes out quite a bit. Which obviously I don't like very much and I don't respond very well to. But
You started it.
okay, that's a very childish thing to say. And also I responded
me
to
childish. That's rich coming from you.
Okay. If this is how this conversation is going to go, I'm not sure that it's going to be productive.
I guess hang on, just so I can be in here.
How did I start it?
Who was it that demanded that we tell Bryn immediately without thinking through it for even a moment?
I asked you to because yes, you had been lying to my father this entire
you demanded
fucking time.
to. You were going to do it yourself unless I did it.
Unless you talked to your mom and you guys told him yourself. I gave you that chance and that's what you did. Yes, I wasn't going to let you lie to my father for any longer. I
didn't even know he was your father until you did. Until you said it.
Well, I did tell you. And it worked out fine.
Did it? I still don't know how Bryn's going to react.
He literally told your mom that he would get her into that section of the prison. I don't know what more you fucking want.
What I want is my father.
He has his full knowing cooperation now.
I can't know that!
Manipulated. He said that. I've said that. I think you've traveled with me long enough to know that I'm not some fucking liar.
Maybe you aren't, but I don't know about Bryn.
Okay, well then if you can trust me,
I don't know
then
how he's
you
going
can
to
trust him. He fucking raised
I don't
me.
trust him.
He raised me. If you can trust me, you.
There are
You
raising
can trust
voices
him.
here. I'm looking out for my friends. What is going on with you guys? I'm sorry. Maybe this is not my business. I lost a friend. Springsteen now gone, and I feel empty inside. I need us to get along. So, what is it? Look, what is it that makes you angry? Flight, what is it can be done on your side?
Shut up, Elkin.
Lashing out at people like that isn't going to help. It just pushes us further away.
No, I can't look at Elkton too and go, Elkton, this is literally not fair.
What did you say to him?
Even Steven's gonna kind of look at Elkton and go,
This is literally not the time.
but you, and Flight, sorry, Steven points to Flight. You need to lower your voice.
He just growls.
You don't
Look, I will leave
intimidate
it.
me, Flight. I may be old.
You go ahead.
I may be old, but I'm not.
He's not growling at anybody in particular. He's just growling in frustration.
Just like, yeah, just all the emotions you're filled with right now.
How long has your father been in prison?
I don't even know. At least as long as Bryn has known Melody.
Then it sounds like the best course of action for all of us, our mental health included, is we get that squashed after.
And I look towards Bree.
We bring you to see Ravisin.
Sure, I would love to help get your father out of prison.
That
As
might not be an
I've said.
option if Bryn has reacted badly.
I give up. Lazarus, I'm sorry, I give up. I give up. I can't. If he can't trust me, even though we've saved each other's asses now quite a few times, we've been in battle
Have you
together
ever had a lover betray
quite
you?
a few times.
Hang on, let her finish her spiel. Go ahead, Bree.
Nope, it's fine.
Okay, sorry.
I asked you a question.
Well, what would reassure you? Flight, if you can't trust her, who can you trust?
It's not about trusting her, it's about trusting Bryn. He's the linchpin. He's the liability.
Well,
Right,
then
but he's not
we can
here.
go help them. You need to. This is not healthy.
You know what might reassure me?
Oh, what might reassure
What,
you?
Flight?
And Flight holds out his hand. Give me that ring.
No, fuck you. Go away.
You're telling me that the one person who knows the most about Bryn is sitting in that ring, and you are refusing to let me talk to her. You don't want me to get reassurance?
So
That is grossly
me-
inappropriate.
So, okay, you are going to let me finish my thoughts here and not fucking interrupt me, okay? I have known my father for... Let me look at my notes and see how old my character is. I did not fill in the age. How old can halflings get? What is their age
50.
range on halflings? 50? I have known my father for 25 years of my life. If you cannot trust my word, what difference does it make if you talk to my mother, who, by the way, died giving birth to me, and this is the first time that I have met her? You at least got to grow up with your parents, Flight, so fuck off. Okay? This is the first time that I have ever gone to speak to her in my entire fucking life. You just want to insert yourself into everything because you feel like you are owed something. And Bree will just like she started crying quite a bit.
Well, this is a lot of...
Is that all you said?
Yes.
Flight just stands up from the table. You just got yours back. I'm about to lose mine, and Flight starts crying too.
Oh my god. Okay. I
had
on
lost
an
them
out
for
of
6
character
years.
on an out of
I had
character
no.
level.
I had
Yo,
do
hang on,
not
hang on,
know-
Flight.
them.
Hang on, Flight. I think
let
we
me
need to
speak now.
address
Alright.
something
No,
because
go
there's
ahead.
there's
Yeah,
some
go ahead.
Flight. Go ahead.
Yeah. I had been lurking. I had been hoping I could just run into them after 6 years. I had no idea where they were. I had no idea if they were alive or not. And now now I've learned that my father is about to rot in a cell for the rest of his life. I'm fucking terrified. Why won't you give this to me? Why do you keep stopping me at every turn?
May I...
Even
I might not know what's going on here, but I've found throughout my life that first impressions are everything. The way that someone perceives a thing dictates how things will go. I have a feeling that you guys didn't like me very much when we first met. You're not into the whole necromancy thing, and I get that. But that affected your ability to work with me. And now, Mr. Tabaxi, I don't know your name, or I've forgotten it, but I feel that your frustration coming into this has halted progress in getting what you want. I feel that the anger you feel comes from a valid place, but closes off the ability to get what you want. It's like punching,
I forget the name of it. It's cornstarch and water, but doesn't matter.
Do you Are you getting the metaphor? That's what I've learned. I feel like it's applicable.
You don't trust anybody, and it's going to ruin your life.
Steven walks away.
Bree's also gonna go with Lazarus because she doesn't want to stay with someone who has made her feel like a piece of shit.
Mm.
And on an out of character level, because I think we need to have that discussion because it's getting very heated.
Yeah.
I literally
I'm fine.
do
I'm fine. But,
not
like,
Well, but
know.
she's not.
Okay, but I do. Okay, but I'm not on an out of character level because it feels a little bit like just because we happen to get some sort of shared plot together early and I didn't let you have everything that you wanted, you're getting incredibly mad at me now and trying to just be like, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Oh no, I'm not mad at you. I hold none of this against you.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, but
that's good to
it's
know.
hard. I think that it's
But
easier
I
for
literally do
Flight to
not know what
separate those.
I can do in character because I mean I'm not Breeze. Do you get this on an out of character level? Like why Breeze not budging on this?
Oh, I get why. It's just
Okay.
Flight isn't having it.
Okay.
I
I
might
just wanted
ask-
to get that out of the way.
Well, and it's it's good
It's
for
just it's not productive anymore.
yeah.
Um,
Personally,
I
I do
honestly
think
don't know why Bree would stay in this party at this point. And I don't know why Flight is either. Like, I mean, Bree's offered to help Flight quite a few times. Like, we can go deal with that now if you want to, if we think that's going to resolve this. But I don't know how that's going to affect the plot largely. If we go deal with that now instead of going to do something else. I don't know, but yeah, it's
yeah,
this
I
isn't
feel
why
like
I play D&D.
if we
Guys.
follow a path down where Flight is leaning, it seems like it's aggressive and it lines up with what Bree's saying of like Bree would be pushed away from the group by that. Whereas like a solution that I see where everyone meshes together is Flight taking this moment and seeing, oh shit, I've affected Dr. Lazarus and Bree in this way. Let's give her some space and
Yeah, but I also
try
don't
to-
want you to have to portray your character values as like your character's values as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm thinking through it too. Is like because I had a couple of things a couple of ways that Flight might respond to this, and you can tell that part of what he really wants, something
But I think what he
Okay,
wants
at this point, can I call for an insight check
on what?
Sure.
from Bree and Lazarus, actually.
Sure, if it gives
Okay.
her better understanding of you, yeah.
It's a 17.
17.
I stood up
Okay.
to get a water bottle.
What was that?
I
He
stood
just-
up to get a water bottle, so
Oh, okay, neat. Okay.
12.
17's pretty good though.
Okay, so Bree, you can actually tell that he's actually incredibly distraught. He is, as he said, he is absolutely terrified right now. What he wants is something to put him at ease. Anything to put him at ease.
Well, hang on, Flight,
I
you
asked
give an
for an
insight
insight
as well.
Okay, but my point is that how like what is trusting an entirely random voice in a ring who could or could not be my mother. Bree thinks it's her mother, but how does she know it's her mother? Her mother died in childbirth. She never heard her voice. So
Right.
you're going to put your trust into a random reign over a person that you have fought in life or death battles with. And that is where she is sticking.
Yeah,
And the fact that her mother died in childbirth and this is the first time she's going to interact with her.
right.
So
Do
the fact that
do you express as much to Flight?
I did before.
Oh, you
I
did?
said all of that. Yes, except for the random voice in the ring part, but like my mother died in childbirth. This is the first opportunity that I've had to speak with her in my entire life. That point was definitely very
Okay.
strongly
Then
expressed.
on that point, as you're kind of walking out, you're so much. How could you have it?
What'd you say?
My mother is literally dead, and you're telling me
What?
that I have it?
No, she's not. Don't you trust what Dr. Lactero said?
What?
She's in there.
Well, I think this is her. I don't, no offense, Mom. I don't
Who else would
actually
it be?
know that it's her. I need to talk to my dad first.
Face palm, walk out
That's
the
the
front
ring
door.
she had. That's the ring your father had, isn't it? The ring he lost
It
his the ring he
is.
lost when he lost his finger.
It is, but it's also been lost off of his hand for a very long time. I don't know what's happened to it in between now and then. Sorry, Mom, if this is actually you. I keep saying.
No, it's you guys have this conversation. Oh, I'm sorry.
Would you like to say anything? Can she so she can't hear what Flight's saying, right?
No, only your reactions.
No, she can only hear you.
Okay. I will can she hear my thoughts?
Well, I think that's the main thing she can hear.
Let me double check. Did we put the ring in your
If I'm not
inventory?
mistaken, telepathy works
Well, it's
in
not
that you
exactly
have to,
that.
you have to willingly like say something to the person who's telepathically communicating with you.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you can telepathically communicate with any creature wearing it. So, yeah. I mean, I think she has initiated a communication, and so you could probably talk with thought.
Okay, so I'll kind of thought speech, kind of some of a summary of what's been going on to her.
Tricky situation. Wow. Well, it sounds like he's speaking to you out of fear, out of it's not real anger. He may be misguided, but it seems like he cares about his family. He does seem very demanding. I don't know how is best. I mean, I get it. You've been spending time with him, and he doesn't want to take your word for it. He'd rather speak to me, and he hasn't spent any time with me at all, so what is my word? What value do I have over you? I get that you're offended by his insistence that my word is more valuable than yours. I don't know if he's
I'm
thinking
offended that he can't trust me.
I know.
And I say this out loud. I'm offended that he can't trust me, and I'm offended that
Well, yeah,
if I give this to you, if I give this to you, I will no longer trust you. Because that is the kind of regard that you have shown me. You do not trust me. Accurate
About trusting
statement.
You.
That's exactly what this is about. You do not trust my word, so you want the word of a random person in a ring.
I want the person who who dedicated her life to being with Bryn.
Actually, no, she was an adventurer. So that's actually a bit of a sexist statement, but she dedicated her life to her work. Yes, a facet of her being was that she was romantically involved with my father, but I also spent 25 years with my father, and you do not trust me. That is what you are saying right now
She spent
by
more.
asking this of me. And I will give this to you so that Lazarus doesn't quit on us. But I will no longer trust you, and that is the price that you will have to pay for this. I will
If that's
help
what
you
it
get
takes
your
to trust
father
Bryn
out,
with my
but I
father's
will
life, I
not
don't
trust
care.
you.
If that's what it takes to trust Bryn with my father's life, I don't care.
Fine, you get 5 minutes, and I take the ring off and I give it to you.
All right.
And I no longer trust you. Congratulations with that. And I go out to, because, and Bree goes out to stand outside with Lazarus.
Oh, Lazarus just like kept walking. That's like one of those. You could probably easily see Lazarus, but he's not directly outside anymore. He's
Yeah.
walked away from the
He just
building.
kept going.
He's
Yeah,
walking.
she'll go catch up with Lazarus. And come
Okay.
back in 5 minutes. She will
Do
be
we want to
timing
do
it.
the same? Do we want to do the same thing we did last time? You want to pull flight, and then me and Lazarus and Bree can talk?
Sure. All right, flight. You want to pop over to the private?
Sure.
Wait, is my video not on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right, so you were left in the Ramshackle Inn with the ring. I mean, Valen and everyone's around, but you're in kind of a separate space. They've kind of separated from the conversation that was going on, and you're able to put the ring on.
All right. So,
And I
at this point,
assume you're
I'm
the
torn
son.
because
Sorry, what?
sorry.
No, so I was already going. Well, you were saying something. What?
Yeah. So I'm actually kind of torn as to what Flight is about to do right now, because he is either going to run off with the ring, or he's just going to ask her a few questions and then just kind of leave it on the table and sit down.
Okay. Well, just as an out of character thing, I do think that this is stirring up Caitlin a little bit, and I think if you run off with the ring, that's going to affect her enjoyment of the game. So, I'm not trying to push you in a way. I know your character would do
The thing
whatever.
is, he wants to run off with the ring to have more time with it, and
Right.
he fully intends to return it.
I get that, but
He's
if
not intending to keep it.
if she's already gonna not trust you now, if you run off with it, I don't know what that
That actually might incentivize Flight to take that action a little bit more, because she already doesn't trust him. So what the heck? So
I mean, I hear that, but I just think that's gonna affect our group
yeah, I know,
dynamic.
which is why I'm torn.
So yeah. So so you must be
So
the son.
she did tell you, did she?
She did. She informed me of what's going on. I overheard a bit of it, whether that be one-sided or not, but you stirred up some stuff. I understand that you're in a predicament yourself. How can I be of ease? Before we get into it, I do want to stress that this is frustrating for me. You've really affected my daughter, and I care about her more than anything in the world. And you're demanding to speak to me right now is troubling. But what you have my full attention. What can I do to ease tensions?
Just want to say I'm first and foremost that I'm sorry for dragging you into this like this.
Well, that's all good, but sorry doesn't change how things are. It does help. I appreciate your sympathy, although I think Bree probably wants more sympathy than I care for.
I don't sympathize with her either.
What did you say?
It's not that I don't sympathize with her either. I get why she's upset with me. But I don't have time to care.
I get
I
that.
can't.
You've got personal things. You've got family to look out for. I mean, I can get that. I mean, me and Bryn consciously chose not to tell her that I existed, and that has had an effect on her. We essentially have deprived her of a mother her entire childhood, and she's just now dealing with that. I think she's in a rough situation right now, and she can use all the friends she can get. I worry that you've stepped away from that a bit, and there may be some climbing to get back on the same page, but I I don't know. I just worry about her. And now with you involved in everything, I'm not sure. Look, she told me that Bryn and your mother are an item now, and that's incredible. I had been trying to get Bryn to find love, but with me being available to come home to every night, it just wasn't his priority. So hearing about this is I'm overcome with emotion. This is wonderful. I thought he'd be stuck on me forever.
It's the thing, though. How is he going to take it if it doesn't work out?
Hang on.
What if Melody decides to go back with my father?
What, instead of your father?
What if she chooses my father over Bryn?
I can see that's
Then what's Bryn
troubling.
going to do? What will he do to Melody? What will he do to Crest?
Well, I don't think Bryn is the type to hurt anyone. I get your worry, but I fell in love with Bryn because he was so kind and caring. I really don't think there's anything to worry about. He will stand by you until you're no longer there. He will be there for you. His honor extends beyond the furthest, the longest reaches I can imagine. Even though I had died, he wouldn't move on.
Flight. I don't know if she can read Flight's emotions at this point, but you definitely
Not really.
hear. But if she does, she definitely sees like a big burden has actually been lifted from Flight.
Okay, well that's good. I mean, she probably reads your silence.
I don't know if she can feel that, but
she probably reads it just from the silence, you know.
Until it's like a Flight will like audibly sigh, and he'll just kind of you don't need to explain anymore. That's
Well,
all I needed to hear.
That's all that you were looking to hear, but I think what you need to hear now is that you've exchanged one weight for another. Maybe smaller, but
I can bear that
you've
weight.
traded out the weight of worry for your father for a hindrance in your friendship. So I feel
That's fine.
some focus might need to be.
Everything hits bumps in the road. It's just I couldn't do anything about Crest before. Bree's still here. I can if things keep going well, maybe I can mend that bridge, but right now I need to focus on my family.
I understand family is important. But sometimes the family is the friends you make along the way. Sorry.
They were
Sorry.
the best friends I made along my way. They were with me every step.
Well, show
I
your
don't
friends
want to
that you
lose them.
value them.
I will. Don't worry.
But it was nice. What was your name?
Flight above the treetops.
Flight. Look, I'm sorry that Bryn has stirred up everything in your life, but
It's hardly just his fault.
that's true. There's a lot of competing threads going on here, but
I don't blame anybody for this. I just wish I could have gotten through to Bree earlier.
well, I get that. I think, if I'm being honest, I think you could have gotten through with her with a little patience, but it is what it is now, and I get your motivations, so But
don't
well,
know
it
how
was
much you've helped
nice
me, thank you.
meeting you.
I can't describe how much you've helped me today. Thank you.
Well, it's my pleasure. But please do your best to make things right with my daughter. She's very hurt right now.
I know.
Thank you,
I
Flight.
promise I won't do anything like this again.
I think as long as you don't. I think saying it is one, but as long as you can prove it to Bree, she'll come around.
All right.
Thank you, Flight.
Thank you for talking with me. And he'll take the ring off and set it on the table.
Okay. Dope.